26 minutes. I'm in the process of writing another email right now. Right? The Hollywood Spiritual Manifesto. A young girl's illustrated primer into evil. Which is, of course, pulled from Neil Stephenson's wonderful novel called The Diamond Age. And the illustrated primer is this talisman that this young girl takes with her, and it's like a book, but it's not a book. It's a primer, you know? It primes you into wisdom, into understanding. It's like a textbook. Right? And so it does seem, you know, he wants me to kill him. That's like, you know, he wants me to just like go off and kill him with magic and bring the wrath of the Lord down upon him on his terms, you know? That's like control. And that's like, it's sad, you know, like acceptance, right? Like, yes, I see that you're a powerful psychic, and please just, I can't see you. I can't accept you. I can't let these women go. Please just get it over with. I'm ready, you know? And that's, I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't accept your terms, Quentin. But I know. If it is understood by the industry that Quentin's put his head on the chopping block, well, I think that is like what they've all resigned themselves to knowing that the evil, right, is in Quentin's court, that's like where the evil lives now, that they don't justify evil in any way, and they will not be making any comments or statements about the movie critic in relation to my allegations at all. And so I see that like actors are like, right, they're like making statements about Quentin, right, that this is all deception, it's all to keep people like thinking that Quentin's cool and that he respects actors and that he respects women. He doesn't respect anyone. He doesn't respect himself. He doesn't respect the psychic mind game. Right? And so, right? I don't want to say things like this is my house, you know, but it is my house. Right? That I made my peace with being in the world but not of it. Right? That like I am perpetually alone in life. That's how I was when I wrote Quentin, right? That's how I was when I turned my back on him at Tribeca. And so these women, right, they saw something like in that. They saw something. They saw a primer for Quentin to like change the way that he lives, to change the way that he sees them, change the way that he sees himself. And I think that that's always been true, that it's still true now. Right? But he's hated himself for so long. He's manipulated people so completely in this way, right? That like, it does upset me a lot, the thought of all the actors in his films now questioning everything. I guess that's what I didn't appreciate. That's what I was flipping about, you know, and that was unloving and unwise. That this is how he loves people and this is how he talks to people, right? I see that as a gross violation of my identity. That's right. That's how I see it. That I wanted the job, you know, and if I had known it was for love, like to help, right, a beautiful woman like feel safe and feel valued in relation to being debased in this disgusting ritualistic fashion, then yes, like I submit everything, you know. But you can't expect me to see that with clairvoyance. That's the secret to my clairvoyant mastery, that I sacrifice my sexual identity, right? And this is what I was just talking about with my mother a couple minutes ago, that I've done everything that I could to like not address it, like to not like talk about it, because I don't have to talk about it. Like I can be like above it, you know. But the thing that the women saw is like that raw sexual magnetism like coming out of all of my pores, you know, as a result of my vow, right? And this always upset Quentin because like it's a sexual film, right? It's about him controlling women, right? And so when they saw me and saw the thought of it like actually being hot to them, that they were like, oh yes, like he's the movie critic. Now it's hot. Like now it's cool. It's like a hot young new guy, right? That he did everything that he could to deny that, right? He's still doing everything he can to deny that. because he doesn't want to reconcile the fact that he cannot conceive and therefore cannot control them biologically, like with his body, right? With the fact that he is existing in the world, right? And so he sees in me everything that he can be, not realizing like how similar we are, that I've forsaken, right? My point is that he hasn't forsaken his sexual identity, even though he should, right? That's like, that's the real rule, isn't it, right? That I came into his life, right, to remind him, right, that if you want to be esoteric, you want to be magic, you have to be prepared to lose anything that you're not willing to sacrifice to the altar of magic, right? And so if you put your whole legacy on the altar of magic to compel me, right, to do that conversation with you at Jackie Brown, right, then that's like what you were, right? Which I dismissed immediately because I saw it as pure manipulation, right? I didn't see you saying, oh, this is, like, oh, see, like it's all right there. But that's what he was saying. That is what he was saying. That don't worry, like trust your intuition. In his mind, that's the justification. I don't feel that that's a valid justification. I feel that that's a slipshod answer intellectually. I feel that that suggests a true sickness with power and control. And this is why I sacrificed everything, because I did realize that he meant well, that he loves me, and right. But really, I was feeling the women, that they still like needed me. You know, that it wasn't, that it's not. It's never been about Quentin's movie. It's never been about his mind. It's been about their hearts, their souls, right? Their journey through life. That's the point, right? That they wanted a shining, beautiful, good thing to define their experience with this film, right? And so now that's what's occurring right now. Right, and so when you as an industry, right, I'll just say, well, Brian will get fed up with talking about it, and then he'll fucking kill him, right? And then Quentin says, gosh, just like kill me and just get it over with, right? No one's growing, right? No one's like, right? Like if I just like use black magic and like make him have a heart attack in 36 hours, right? And then the women all come to me, right? And I establish a new dominion in Hollywood, right? That's me doing the same thing. You understand? So we have to, right? We have to grow out of our baser instincts, right? Into the light of truth together. Honestly, openly, above board. No black magic, no manipulation. Right? So that's my mother, you see, in the frame. Nice lady, sweet lady. I'm only here because of Quentin. That's the only reason I'm here. Right? And now he's put me in such a strait, right? That he has put us in such a bind spiritually where he has to either grow. He has to grow one way or the other, right? He has to grow in his evil and actually like take steps and take my life, right? By an act of violence. That's always an option. It's always been an option, right? Or he has to take his own life by violence, right? Kill all the women, right? Or he has to grow and like actually just like spiritually evolve and say, okay, I am broken. I'm enough. I can't control these women biologically. They love this man. That's why they wanted him to play the role, because they knew it could justify debasing themselves in this disgusting way. And so that's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else, right? If we just like let the movie machine like roll on, right? And I start seeing that like they're premiering the film, yeah, I guess I'm just going to kill him. I guess like I'm just going to do that. I'm going to like just turn it all on him and stop eating and sweating and just make him have a heart attack in a day, 2 days, I'm sure. It's easy. He's old. He's out of shape. He doesn't take care of himself. Right? He doesn't have the stamina. Raging, rock hard, fucking psychic erection constantly. You get it? And I don't want to do that, but like I'm not interested in. Nah, we're good. Okay, I guess that's the plan. I'll write women's rights groups and say I'd rather not descend into black magic evil to destroy this man, but like we can use white magic and I can grill him in the press until he commits suicide. If he's such a fucking masochist, he can't forgive me at all. Enough to give me the women he doesn't respect. That's the point. Like, you did it. You defiled them. You debased them. Like, yeah, they're really pretty. They're really charming and smart and talented. I'll watch out for them and make them feel good about themselves. You did it. You made them feel worthless. Congratulations. Right? You controlled them in a sadistic black magic spell of evil. Right? Maybe you can cast it over the world. Right? But if you don't let me have them, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that the world is as disgusted as I am with that movie and the way you treated the women in it. That's the point. That's the real point. So, right? Mikey Madison, Sydney Sweeney, right? There's the femoral artery, right? Right? There's your jugular, right? If you go up, right, not across, right? Right? Every time Mikey Madison looks at herself in the mirror, she thinks of suicide. Every time Mikey Madison closes her eyes, she thinks of suicide. Every time Mikey Madison looks around and sees what she does, she thinks of suicide. Every time Sydney Sweeney closes her eyes, she thinks of suicide. Every time Sydney Sweeney looks around and sees everything, she thinks of suicide. Right? Every time she speaks or engages with anyone about anything, she thinks of suicide constantly. Right? Daniela Pick. Right? Every time Daniela Pick does anything, she thinks of suicide. Every time she thinks of her family, she thinks of suicide. Every time she thinks of her husband, she thinks of suicide. Every time she thinks of the industry that allows him to keep her in such a sadistic fashion, she thinks of suicide. Every time she looks at the children that she forced him to conceive and did not give her, she thinks of suicide. You get it, right? Just all evil, all sickness. That's like all these people see, right? Every time Quentin Tarantino looks out at the family he doesn't respect, he thinks of suicide. Every time Quentin Tarantino does an interview about a movie that shows how much he hates the world, he thinks of suicide. Every time he does an interview and a podcast about writing, every time he writes anything, he thinks of suicide. Every time he watches a movie, he thinks of suicide. Every time he looks at the kids that he can't conceive but expects to control, he thinks of suicide. Every time he knows that he destroyed these women's psyches, he thinks of suicide. So, something to consider.